Losing your cool or your clients. Whether you're a seasoned entrepreneur or just starting out, each episode brings you practical strategies, powerful insights, and the motivation you need to stop chasing money and start collecting with confidence. Because remember, the sale isn't complete until the money's in the bank. Now, here's your host, Dee Bowden.
Hey, what would you do if you collected $6 million in unpaid invoice in just 60 days and then got fired? That's exactly what happened to me. But instead of letting it break me, I built a system and a business that's now helping small companies just like yours recover money from those past due invoices. If you are a CFO, a chief financial officer, or you work in accounts receivable, aka AR, these insights I'm sharing here could be the solutions you're looking for. I'm Dee Bowden. I've helped small businesses and government agencies recover millions of dollars in unpaid invoices and excess funds. And this is Collect the Cash. Here we talk about how to gracefully get your money back from slow paying clients and simple ways to prevent slow pays from happening in the first place. But before I get into all of the how-tos on what had happened was, I want to take you back to where all of this started. About 20 years ago, I used to work for a small IT company outside of Boston where I'm originally from. If you've ever worked in corporate, you know how it goes. It kind of goes like this. Welcome aboard. Here's your cubicle. Here's your box. Here's your plant. And in my case, it was welcome aboard, D. Here's your cubicle. Here's your box. Here's your plant. And here's a list of $8 million in outstanding invoices that have not been paid. Y'all could imagine the surprise I had when they said they had $8 million in outstanding invoices. I'm like, y'all have what? Yeah, $8 million in outstanding invoices. And I'm like, how did this happen? So what had happened was the salespeople did a phenomenal job. They sold the heck out of the software systems, the licenses, the computers, all the things. But unfortunately, sales and accounts receivable, they don't talk. So the salespeople were doing great, but the AR people were having a really hard time collecting the cash. And so $8 million sat uncollected. Now, when I got there, I'm looking around at this team and I'm thinking, okay, so y'all have been collecting money, but y'all have not been able to figure out how to get this last list of $8 million collected. They're like, nope. And your resume says you know how to collect the cash. So we hired you to help us do that. So when I get in, I'm working Monday through Friday, 4 to 8. As I go to sit at my cubicle, I'm like, what happened? Because of course I'm a problem solver by nature. So of course my first question is, how did y'all sell all this and not collect this money? They're like, we just didn't. So I happen to be a person of faith. So I had a short conversation with God. And when I got out of my chat, I was like, okay, it's you gotta solve for X. We gotta solve this problem. So I go back to my cube, I get my list of accounts and I'm like, okay, D, we're solving for X. We got to figure out what had happened what's the story or stories behind why these invoices have not been paid. So I do what I always do. Pick up the phone. Hey, this is D from X company. I'd like to speak to the person in accounts payable, please. Hey, how are you today? I'm great, thanks. How are you? Well, listen, I'm calling about this list of accounts and these list of invoices that are issued to you but have not been paid. One company, as I made that first call, they said, hey, D, the reason we haven't paid you is because we changed our billing system and we went from basically like using something like Excel, Microsoft Excel to say QuickBooks or another payment system, a billing system rather. And they said, we sent out an email to all of our vendors saying we've changed our billing system and we need you to reformat your invoices and resubmit them into the new system. I said, when did you happen to send out the email? They said, oh, we sent it out 2 months ago. And I said, really? Y'all can imagine. I'm like, so $2 million. If we reformat this and resubmit it into the new billing system can be paid. Exactly. I said, well, can you do me a favor, please? Number one, I acknowledged that. I said, I don't think we ever got the email, or if we did, it's in spam or somebody ignored it. I'm not sure. But in order for us to fix this, I'm going to need you to resend me that email and I'm going to go talk to my comptroller and explain to her, here's $2 million that we can get collected if we go back and fix these invoices according to this email from this company and reformat it and resubmit it. So my next objective was to go sit with the person in IT and say, okay, can you work with me to reformat these invoices into the system that this company required? And we got to take it out of the old system, reformat it, and then resubmit it into the new system and then submit it. So we spent literally a week. Like I told y'all, I worked Monday through Friday, 4 to 8. So for 5 days, 4 hours a day, all I'm doing is formatting invoices and resubmitting them. and getting confirmation that everything was accepted by the company, and then they would schedule the payments. And so I think about a week later, $2 million of the $6 million, of the $8 million came in. So I'm like, all right, cool. First major problem solved. And I go down the list. And eventually I collect $6 million in 60 days. Now I'm thinking, okay, this is fantastic. They hired me. They gave me $8 million to collect. I collect 6. I'm like, okay, we're rocking. We're doing this. Then, unfortunately, this is where the story turns. I collected $6 million. I'm celebrating. Me and my team are doing high fives and all the things. And then the CEO says, come downstairs. We're going to have a chat. I'm like, okay, cool. If you've ever worked in sales people usually get a commission. AR people, accounts receivable people, we get bonuses. So I'm thinking, me and my team, we're about to get a huge bonus. Especially this is, I collect $6 million in 60 days, which is they didn't even think it could be collected at all. I surprised them and surprised myself, but I surprised them more because they were like, you only work part-time and you did this. I'm like, exactly. But I'm focused and I'm skilled in what I know how to do, which is collect the cash. So I did it. So we come downstairs and the CEO says, listen, I want to thank all of you across all the departments. So that's contracts, finance, sales, IT, order entry, order fulfillment, accounts payable, accounts receivable, my team. I want to thank you all for your service. Your guys have done an amazing job, but we've made an executive decision. We're closing the company today, and we're letting 100 of y'all go 2 months before Christmas, before the holiday season starts. I don't know about y'all, but I don't know if you've ever had anything that has gut punched you, sucker punched you, jarred you to the point where you're like, did this really just happen? You really are letting us go. Especially, I was like, me, because I'm thinking, okay, I'm a part-time person. I just collected $6 million. And I'm like, for real? Like, y'all are closing the company. Like, yeah, we've already signed the papers. We're closing the company. You got 30 minutes to go upstairs and get your box, get your stuff, and leave the building. So after this happens, I'm like, wow, I am just beyond devastated. I am frustrated. I feel betrayed. I'm disappointed. I'm upset. And I'm all in my feelings because I'm like, I came to work. If you like working, you understand. You're like, nobody gets up and expects to have the rug pulled out from underneath them. That's what happened to me. And after that, after I got over those emotions, I decided that, okay, we got to get up from here. You can't stay here. So out of that situation, Collect the Cash was born. I decided that I didn't want to see another small business go out of business because of what happened. So fast forward to COVID. I really saw this on fleek. I happen to love theater. And so when Broadway shut down, all the theater houses are all businesses that have contracts with vendors for the things, for the food, for the tchotchkes, all the things. And when Broadway shut down and every theater house shut down, which means all the shows never took place, all the sales they were expecting never took place, I'm looking at thinking, man, all those expected sales and the expecting to get paid, it never took place. And so that was the beginning of me deciding to tell my story and say, okay, my why is I don't want to see another small business go out of business because they don't track their sales. They don't have a system in place to collect their cash. And so Collect the Cash was born there. After that, I said, okay, how can I be of service to the small business community? And so I created Collect the Cash. And I created a framework, which is the 4 keys to collect the cash. The 4 keys are problem solving, customer service, gratitude, and relationship building. I'm actually grateful for that experience that I had working for that company 20 years ago, because it's what drove me to decide to get into service to other small businesses and teach them how to improve their cash flow, track their sales, and make sure they don't go out of business. Now, I can't guarantee that you won't go out of business, but what I can say is this. If you track your sales and you track your payments and you have a system and you learn how to engage your customers who owe you money in a way that doesn't feel confrontational, but it's more like you're going from what had happened was to how do we win. You continue to listen to the show, we'll be able to teach you how to do that. So listen, if you've ever been ghosted on a payment, ever been stressed out about your cash flow, or ever been unsure about how to ask for what you owed, stick with me. Each week, I will give you tools, mindset shifts, and real-world strategies to help you collect your cash. Make sure that you are subscribed, and if you know a fellow business owner who needs to learn how to collect their cash, share it with them. Also, if you want to learn more about my 5 tips to collect the cash, please visit www.collectthecash.biz/freebie. That's www.collectthecash.biz/freebie. Thanks so much for listening to the very first episode of Collect the Cash. This is just the beginning. Next week or next time, we'll be diving into the first key of my system, problem solving. I'll show you how to stop guessing and start solving when it comes to unpaid invoices. Until then, remember this: collect the cash. The sale is not complete until the money is in the bank.
Live radio, local podcasts, the Frederick Podcast Network at listenfrederick.com.